what is up guys? This is Josh the Gamer here, coming at you with a brand new video. So today, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do conditionals in the Quorum programming language. So, first off, I'm going to say, conditionals are essentially the way that the computer makes decisions. So you can pretty much say, if this happens, do this. If this doesn't happen, do this. Else, do this. You know, all that cool kind of stuff. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting tutorial. So let's go ahead and do that, shall we? So okay, we are going to go ahead and create a simple program. We're going to create something very simple using conditionals. We are going to create a program that essentially will deny somebody of buying certain items if they're under a specific age. So, I think we can do that. Let's do it. Okay, so first off, what we're going to do is we are going to create a text variable. So text, and we'll say age input equals input okay. How old are you? Alright. And then we're going to go ahead and do text product input equals input what do you want to buy? Alright. So now what we want to do is we're going to create some integer variables, alright? So integer age equals cast. We're going to cast age input to an integer. Alright, so now that we have that done, let's go ahead and start with the ifs, shall we? So let's go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and type the keyword if. This will tell the computer, oh, we're gonna make a decision here. We're going to analyze these conditions and figure out whether it's true or not, whether it's valid or invalid. So after the if, we do a space. We're going to say if age is equal to well, actually, I should probably teach you guys about the some of the operators first. Now, some of the operators for conditionals are actually very simple. We have, to start off with, we have equal to, which is the same thing that we've been using as an assignment operator for assigning values to variables. We have the less than, greater than, which and we have greater than or equal to, or less than and equal to. You probably already know what those do from math class. And then we have and or. Now, the and keyword pretty much says that both, in order to execute a certain block of code, these two statements have to be true. And then we've got or, which one or the other out of the two statements have to be true in order to execute that certain block of code. Alright, so now with a better understanding, we can start to finish up this program. So if age is equal to, let's say, what do we want to say? Let's say if age is not equal to, is less than 17, and product is equal to, let's say, let's say Call of Duty, for example. And then after that if statement, we need to put an end with it. Let's see. Product input. Alright, so now that we have that if statement structured, what do we want to do if the age is less than 17 and the product input is Call of Duty? Well, according to the ESRB rating scale, in order to play Call of Duty, which is a rated M game, you have to be 17 or older to play it. So we're going to deny access for the user to buy it. However, we can't do any validation we can't do any completely complex user validation. So what we can do is we can output to the console and say, you cannot buy this product. You must be 17 years of age or older. Alright, now we also now we want to do an else. Now, what is else? Else is essentially where you say, okay, if the above statement is not true, do this. So we'll go ahead and do else. And then you do not need to put any conditions for else, because it'll automatically assume that any statement above the else is false. We want it now if the above statement is false, we want it to output, you have permission to buy this product. Alright, so let's go ahead and save this. We're going to run it. Now it's asking for my age. So I'm going to go ahead and put 16 because that's how old I am. What do you want to buy? Well, let's just say Call of Duty for just for an example. And as you can see, when I type 16, it stored that into the age input variable, but then we said, oh, let's convert that to an integer. So we did, and then we tested to see if age was less than 17, which it is. Since I put in 16, 16 is less than 17. And the product that we put in was Call of Duty. And so it says you cannot buy this product. You must be 17 years of age or older. Now, if we go ahead and run this program again, it's going to ask us how old we are. Let's go ahead and say 16 again, but this time enter a different product name. Let's go ahead and say, let's just say NetBeans, because why the heck not? It says you have permission to buy this product because the above statement is false. While the age is less than 17, the product input is not equal to Call of Duty. So therefore, this will not execute. And it'll automatically say, oh, okay, so I can't execute this. Let's go ahead and go into the else. And then it executed that. Pretty simple, right? Well, there's also another type of conditional that we can use here. And it's called else if. Now, else if is essentially a way where you can put another condition right after the if, so it'll test for multiple things at once, or it'll test multiple things one after the other. So let's go ahead and say else. We're gonna do else if. We're gonna space. And then let's say age is, let's say, what do we want? What do we want the age to be? Let's say 16. Let's go at 16. Or 15, I guess. Let's say, yeah, else if age is equal to 16, and we'll say, and the product input is equal to driver's license. What do we want it to do? Well, let's go ahead and say output, you can get your license. And then now let's go ahead and do an example of an else if with the or keyword. So let's go ahead and do else if age is less than or equal to 5, or product input is equal to, let's say, Pac-Man. We want it to output, you can play Pac-Man. Now, what is it telling me? I put one too many E's on the age variable. Alright, so let's go ahead and now we're going to go ahead and do that, run it. Let's go ahead and put 16 What do we want to buy? Well, let's say driver's license. And of course, it says you can get your license. However, since I have a visual impairment, I legally cannot because my visual acuity is too low. But that's aside the point. How old are you? Let's go ahead and put in 16 again. And then we'll go ahead and put Pac-Man. And it says you can play Pac-Man. Because while the age I inputted is not less than or equal to 5, it looks at the other condition and say, okay, so the product input is Pac-Man, so I can output you can play Pac-Man. It's pretty dang simple, I'd say. And honestly, when we get into more advanced if statements, there's going to be another keyword that I'm going to teach you. It's called not. I'll explain more about what it's mainly used for when we get there, but for now, this is all you got on conditionals. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and make sure if you don't understand something in this tutorial, go ahead and leave a comment down in the comment section below, and go ahead and check out the links in the description of this video. There will be a link to the Quorum programming language page, and there will also be a link to my GitHub page where you can find all the source code for tutorials 2 through now. And if you're watching this while the series is done, you can find it on the GitHub page. You can find the source code for every tutorial from 2 onward. So yeah, that'll pretty much do it for this tutorial, guys. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all in the next one.